Hello and welcome to another Brush Monkey painting challenge. In this video I'm going to try and paint the Skaven half of Skaventide in just 24 hours. Previously I tried to paint the Stormcast half of Skaventide in just 12 hours. If you haven't watched that video yet, go and check it out quickly and then come back to this one. So, what's the plan this time? Well, I'm not going to try and paint the whole thing in one 24-hour sitting. Unfortunately, I'm too old and knackered to be able to do that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is split into two 12-hour challenges. This first challenge is going to be all of the clanrats. That's 40 models. I'm going to do that in 12 hours, hopefully. It's all built and everything's been primed in colour forged trench brown.
First job of the day is to get the skin painted. I'm starting off with Kislev flesh. I'm not trying to be neat and tidy with this paint. After all, it's just a base coat.
So, that's a little over 1 hour gone, and what I've managed to do is all the base coats for the skin tones. So next up will be a highlight and a wash to finish the skin tones off, and hopefully that will get done before the end of the 2 hour mark.
It's hour 2, and I'm carrying on with the skin, starting with an overbrush of Flayed 1 flesh, followed by a wash with Reichland flesh shade.
That's 2 hours in. I'm about halfway through the wash stage of the skin. The base coats and the highlights are done, so just the wash has been back together a bit. I would have been slightly further ahead than this if it hadn't been for the fact that 90% of the models I picked up I've realised I've missed either a knee or a little bit of skin poking through one of the cloths. So I have to keep stopping, getting those painted, ready to put the wash stage on those. So, going up to hour 3 now. Hopefully I'll get the rest of it, well, I will get the rest of the skin done. And then it's going to be probably onto all the chainmail bits that hang underneath. That's not a huge amount, but it's still a bit time consuming. Also need to put the Carabao Crimson wash on the tails of all the little boys as well. So I must forget to do that. Okay, see you in an hour.
Hour 3 starts where hour 2 left off, with more Reichland flesh shade. Once that's done, it's onto the Carabao Crimson for all the ratty tails. That's probably the quickest job of the challenge. That gives me time to start the chainmail. I'm using Rhinox hide as a base coat for that.
So there we have it. We're just over a quarter of the way there. 8 hours remaining. In the last hour I managed to do all the undercoat for the chainmail. Managed to finish off the tails. Did find a couple more rats that needed their skin doing. So I got those done as well. So in the next hour hopefully I can do all the undercloth in brown. Gonna have a quick walk around first because my bum's going to sleep. But back with you in an hour.
Next up, I'm using Gawthor Brown to paint all the cloth on the lower parts of the rats. This took me the whole hour, and a little bit more.
Whew. Right, okay, so that's 4 hours and 23 minutes. I've managed to get all the brown done on the cloth bits that I wanted to, although I am 20 odd minutes behind now. But it seems like a good time to stop for lunch. So I'll have a break for half an hour, have something to eat, and then come back strong in the afternoon. See you in a bit. There we go, that's lunch done. That was nice. So, where are we? We're at a little over 5 hours gone. So I've still got 7 hours to go, which seems like a lot of time for what I have to do, but we'll see. So next up I think is going to be doing all the little straps and little baggies and things like that they have on them. I've also got myself a little baggie of sweeties. There's a little reward. So each time I finish doing something, like painting the belts and straps and things, I'll get a sweetie.
And lunch settles and I get a new boost of energy. Belts, bags and bits of rope. That's the first job of this afternoon. I'm using diluted snakebite leather contrast paint for the belts and bags and diluted Nazreg yellow contrast for the ropes. Once that's done, I move on to the cloth on the top half of the minis with corn red. I'm only putting this on half of the models. The other half will be orange. Hour 6 means painting the armour in a 50-50 mix of Rhinox hide and corn red. I'm applying this to the minis that I've painted the cloth corn red in the previous hour. Once that's done, I can go ahead and start highlighting the cloth with Mephisto red. I also have time left over to put Jacaro orange on the cloth of the other half of the rats that I hadn't already painted.
Here we are at the 7 hour mark. So, the client wants 2 units of 20 made out of this 40 Skaven clanrats. So he wants me to be able to differentiate between them quite easily just at a glance when I'm on the tabletop. So I've done half of them in reds, so dark red for the armour and a lighter red for the cloth. And the other half I'm going to do in oranges, so a darker orange for the armour and a lighter orange for the cloth. That way they should be quite distinguishable on the tabletop just at a glance.
I'm kicking off hour 7 with Mornfang Brown. I'm putting this on the armour on the clanrats that I painted orange. When that's finished, add a highlight to the armour with Scrag Brown.
There we have it, 8 hours. Getting there, very tired now, still got another 4 hours to go mind. So yeah, all the armour's done, all the cloth is done. I'm just now about a third of the way through doing the highlights on all the chainmail stuff. Not sure what I'm going to do next at the moment. Maybe weapons and shields. That's probably about the next thing to do. Okay.
Hour 8 sees me overbrushing lead voucher on all the Rhinox hide for the chainmail. That doesn't take very long, so I also have time to paint the hair on the rat boys in Eshin Grey and then dry brush a highlight of Dawn Stone.
So, a little over 9 hours, so just under 3 hours left to go. Still seems quite a while. It's going to be very close as to whether I finish this or not. I don't feel like I've got a lot more to do, but I thought that in the last hour, and then all I've managed to do is the hair, which seems to have taken me the entire hour, so I'm not entirely sure what's happened there. But I'll soldier on. I suppose weapons and shields, and then just little bits and pieces, little rats and things on the bases. I think that's it. So hopefully I can do it. Stick with me.
It's hour 9 and I finally do manage to put the paint on the weapons and shields. I base coat and still leave them drab, and then a dry brush with Xandri dust over the top. This helps pick out all the wood grain quite nicely.
Wow, I can't believe another hour's passed. Where is the time going? Yeah, well, I've got the base of the shields all done and the wood effect and stuff, but I was hoping I'd completely finished by now on the weapons. I don't know where the time is going. So yeah, 2 hours left. Still got to finish the shields and the weapons. Do all the teeth as well and the eyes. And then all the little bits and pieces. The one's wearing a skull and the little rats on the bases and on shoulders and things. Hopefully I'm going to get it done in the next 2 hours. We'll just have to see, won't we?
10 hours down and fatigue is setting in. But I'll push on with Iron Warriors for all the bits of metal on the weapons and shields. I'll follow that up with a shabby bow on all the little teepees. It's the 11th hour and the finish line is in sight. But there's still plenty to do. Caribou crimson in all the mouths and on the noses. Black with all the little rat bodies, followed with Eshin grey as a highlight. Last of the big jobs is Agrax Earthshade on the weapons and shields to really bring that wood effect together. A few little jobs here and there, and
Right, there we go. 12 hours plus a minute and 8 seconds, but 12 hours otherwise. That's hard work. Not much harder work than it was for the Stormcast, I don't know why. Maybe it's twice as many models. I finished it though, I have done it. They are all painted. I dabbed just as I finished. I did notice that one of them's got a rat on his base and one of them's got a rat on his shoulder, and I'd missed them both. There is more I can do with them, which I may or may not, which is just a wash over the lead voucher on the chainmail just to bring it down a little bit. But otherwise, yeah, quite happy with that. So definitely finished with tabletop standards, so that's what I was aiming for in 12 hours. So next up is the 12 hours to paint the characters, the big guys, the big shooty thing. Oh, that's going to be hard work as well. I think I'll give that a few days before I start that one. Well, if you've been watching along with me, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe, it all helps. And I'll see you all soon. Bye bye!